Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in Arizona in 2000. Trump hates that. The right hates that. And they also refuse to admit that that's actually what happened. But they clearly think that Trump is vulnerable there, which is why they're going to extreme anti-democratic lengths to make sure that that won't happen. And in this case, they're effectively setting up a system wherein if the Arizonan people vote for a candidate that they don't like, they can just reject it. They just reverse it like they wanted to do with Mike Pence. The architect of this is Arizona State Senator Anthony Kern, who you're seeing in this photo. He was a fake elector in 2020 who still holds elected office. That's fun that can happen. Anyway, he's filed a proposal to have the legislature select who will get the electoral votes of the state rather than the winner of the popular vote in Arizona, which really demonstrates a lot of faith in the popularity of your candidate that you want to stop the popular vote from having any effect whatsoever. By the way, in addition to being an Arizona fake elector, he was also photographed on Capitol grounds on January 6th, although there is no evidence that he actually entered the grounds. So he's kind of an insurrectionist, kind of a coward at the same time. Anyway, he pushed for unending audits of the vote because he didn't like the result of the vote. But here's what he wants to do in this case. So be it resolved that the legislature shall remain in session during years in which presidential elections are held, so that the legislature and no other official shall appoint presidential electors in accordance with the United States Constitution. So why would they do this? I mean, if you're so sure that your candidates are unpopular and won't be able to win the popular vote, well, why are you gonna have the legislature do it? I mean, that still theoretically could go to the other side. Well, that's unfortunately not the way it works. In Arizona, Democrats haven't held either house in that state since 1992. That's the way a lot of this works. You can have a state that's effectively 50-50, but still have it be wildly shifted towards one party in the state legislature. And so this is what he's trying to set up. Now, when he was asked about this bill, he declined to comment except to say to a reporter from the Huffington Post, "You are a complete idiot. And the Huffington Post is an enemy of the American people," which is funny because he appears to think that the American people are his enemy, at least when it comes to presidential elections. So no word on whether this is likely to become law. I imagine the pushback nationally is going to be vicious. But Sharon, what do you think about the plot?
It sounds like some things that some other countries have done or tried to do. It's devious, it's anti-democracy, it's something that must be defeated. And the alarm bell must be sounded over and over again so that people get it and don't have to rush out after the fact and try to undo it when we're living under a dictatorship.
Yeah, never forget, by the way, that they are anti-elitists on the right. They're a populist movement. They love, the common man. They just don't want his vote to count for anything. They love the common man so long as the common man loves them. If the common man questions them, doesn't support them, then off with the common man's head. Anyway, he's a joke. I'm assuming it won't actually pass, but this is the sort of thing that they're pushing for in states around the country, and many of their bills, particularly to roll back voting access, have already passed. They're already law. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.